we're focusing on just one of those heats to give you an idea of the most remarkable action that these small boats go through and the determination that's required from the competitors as they're thrown around in these tiny V-bottom boats. Into the lead, the blue boat there, that's A50, 150 horsepower Mercury XR2 on the back of the boat, but being heavily challenged. Bob Baker, the driver, Jeff Lowcock, his co-driver, but they wind on the power again. Round the first turn, A28 Samsung cameras in the lead now as they head out away from the shoreline. Samsung cameras powered by the 150 horsepower Mercury. The boat itself an 18-foot Phantom by Steve Baker, driver Nick Barsh from Cornwall, and his co-driver is Steve Kent, also from Cornwall. Nick has been a national champion for the past 4 years and Steve has been co-driver for the last 2 years. The water calmer further in towards the shore, but they're being challenged further away now from the shoreline, and the challenge is coming from A14 Can't Say, driven by Ian Blacker, who is having his first year in national racing, a quite remarkable performance for him. He raced last year in the basic class to gain experience, and now at the moment he's out there leading, and he's ahead of A28 Samsung cameras. You can see how they're getting thrown around inside the boat there. The navigator and co-driver on the left. Can't Say, an 18-foot Phantom, and they certainly look as if they're having navigational problems because they're turning right round and heading back again, back onto the course. And there are boats in all sorts of directions at the moment. A great deal of difficulty being found by the OCR class to safely navigate the course, and we at the moment have 6 boats all heading in totally different directions as they try and identify the correct marker buoys for their particular course. Down below us, Can't Say, Ian Blacker and Sue Carr from Liverpool, a lady co-driver there, finding the speed, and with their 150 horsepower engine able to outpace the 90 horsepower Yamaha that was in the background. But they found the right course now. They're heading back out into real competition, and you can see the tremendous pounding that they and their boat are taking. Sue Carr hanging on for all she's worth there. She used to race with her father. She's now watching the charts for Ian Blacker. A superb performance here. Dixon Scientific, the blue boat, just ahead of Samsung cameras. And that looked a very, very dangerous moment there indeed for A14. It looked as if they'd hooked badly. Lost control of the boat. You can see the amount of water in the bottom of the boat there. Both team members now very wet, very fed up, no doubt. They've had handling problems there. They've had some navigational problems, but A50, Dixon Scientific, battling along side by side with Samsung cameras, 828. An absolutely evenly matched race now as Nick Barsh from Cornwall in the red and yellow Samsung cameras tries to outmaneuver his rival Bob Baker, who's driving the blue Dixon Scientific boat, and it doesn't get much closer than this as they come into the turn. A neck-and-neck battle, but Dixon Scientific has the advantage at the moment. Nick Barsh driving that red and white boat down there, national champion for 4 years. But here we have tremendous problems. This is A90 Pacific Alliance. Both team members safely out of the boat, but they've sunk. Whether they were swamped or not is difficult to tell when we were following the battle for the lead here. Samsung cameras, A28, driven by Nick Barsh. An 18-foot Phantom, obviously handling the waters here very well indeed. Dixon Scientific, this blue boat that's given them such a close run for their money. Both of them equally matched in engine performance. And a disaster too for A28, the race leader out. The red flag up. Dixon Scientific screaming past to take the lead and win the race here in Guernsey with enough points to take the overall honours for Class A and OCR. A marvellous week's racing for them. Dixon Scientific in the lead finally in OCR Class A. As we say goodbye from Guernsey, looking down on Rob Baker and Alan Healy in their 18-foot monohull Dixon Scientific, the overall winners here in Guernsey in OCR Class A, a spectacular form of racing open to anyone. who has the nerve to tackle the open sea. And one team that certainly had the nerve here in Guernsey was Ian Blacker and Sue Carr. Remarkable performance from them. After the break, Seville 1987 Formula Grand Prix, our classic race.